Hi everyone, this is Steve with Otaku Henshin. We're going to take a look at another Kyuranger item today. This is the deluxe Kyu the Weapon, and as you can see, this is the weapon that they use in the show, which is a really neat weapon idea that I feel, being that the one single weapon can combine into 9 different ones for each different ranger. We can see here it shows the Boenkyo Kyutama right here, or essentially the telescope Kyutama. We obviously have Shishi Red on the front, and then up top we have all of the others. Just Shishi Red on the sides. We can see, just like with the Seiza Blaster, we have all of the other rangers at the bottom again. And of course on the back it just shows us all the different weapon modes. So let's go ahead and pull this all out and take a look at what everything is that's inside. So here's what we have inside. We have the Kyu the Weapon itself, and then we have our Kyutama. Let's take a look at this one. We can see it has a 20 on it. You can see our typical little globe looking kind of image here, and then obviously when we turn it, it shows you more of the picture of the telescope. And then the Kyu the Weapon here does have 3 different pieces. Let's see how they release them. There we go. So here's the first piece. Then there's this piece and this piece. And this one does have where you can bend that. This one swivels around. And this one doesn't really do much, but this is where all the sounds come from. Batteries go here, and the speaker is right here. So let's go ahead and get this into all the different weapon forms so you guys can see each of the different forms it can do. Alright, so we're going to start out with the Kyu sword. So we'll just take this piece, and then this one will attach, and then this one goes in at the top here. So there we are with the Kyu sword. And then, of course, to turn it on right by where the batteries go. You can see it lights up there. By default, we just have slashing sounds, and actually there are 2 triggers on this thing, if you can see. And when you press the one down, if you can see, it actually pushes them both down. So it doesn't really matter which one, and it seems like they're one giant connected button. So anyway, it does that slashing sound like I said. If you hold it in slightly, it'll do the Kyu sword. And then we get our slashing sound still. And then up here is where we do the galaxy attack. You just stick the Kyutama on. And unfortunately, that is pretty much the same sound. I don't think there's any change in it at all from what I heard for each different weapon mode, so it doesn't really do a whole lot as far as with the Kyutama, but the weapon itself is still pretty neat how it combines into all the different forms. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. The next one is the Kyu spear. So all you need with this one is you actually just pull this down, and then we take the top piece and attach it, and that's really all there is to it. And we can hold in the button to get the Kyu spear. And that's the sound for that one. So next is the Kyu claw, and for this one we actually are going to stick it on here instead of up here this time. And then we fold, actually we want to fold it like this up, and you're supposed to hold it this way. Let me actually have it face this way for you guys. So that's the Kyu claw. Now the Kyu crossbow is literally the exact same thing we just did, except you just leave it like that. Then the Kyu axe is pretty much the same thing again, except for up top. Now for the Kyu Sickle, we're going to take this piece down again, and then this one goes up top, but then we're gonna turn it around like that.
Kyu Sickle.
Now for the Kyu Rapier, all we need to do is just flip this up, and that's literally it for the rapier.
Kyu Rapier.
So I always have a thrusting sound. And then we have the even more simple Kyu Shot, which is literally just this.
Kyu Shot.
And then finally the Kyu Slasher, where we take this and just put the blade piece on without the little axe piece.
Kyu Slasher.
And this is obviously supposed to be more of a dagger than an actual sword. Finally, we're going to take our Kyu Tama. So as you can hear, there is no change in that other than the fact that you actually don't even hear them saying the name of the Kyu Tama. It's the same though as the previous video we did with the Shishi one. The only actual real difference you'll hear we have in the control. So you can hear that was different. And then in the attack, the first attack, not the galaxy. And then finally, the other mode that is different. So other than that, like I said, it's all going to be the same sounds. So unfortunately, this one doesn't add a whole lot. I'm sure, obviously, as we get some other ones, that they may do a little bit more. So final thoughts on Kyu the Weapon. I think it's a really neat concept. I like that they all have the exact same weapon, essentially, but just in different forms. Obviously, as an adult, the child size of it is a bit unappealing. And I do wish it did have a little bit more functions as far as the sounds. Obviously, I'm glad it does say the name of each different weapon, but it'd be nice if it somehow knew when you created that particular version of it what sound to actually play rather than having to toggle through them. But beyond that, like, those are really just minor complaints. I still think it's a pretty neat toy as far as that goes along. If they ever did make a 1/1 scale prop, I would absolutely have to get it because this weapon is really neat, and to have it in full size would be pretty awesome. I highly doubt they'll ever do that, but if they did, you can bet I would definitely be getting one. I've really been liking this show a lot, and I am excited to see what other stuff comes out in the near future for the show. As mentioned in the previous video, we are selling these items on our website, otakuhenshin.com, as well as Kamen Rider items. So if you are looking to pick up one of these or one of the other Kyuranger items, definitely come check us out. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to keep up with our latest video reviews for all the Kyuranger items. And you can also follow us on social media with Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. All those links will be in our video description. As always, thanks for watching, you guys, and see you next time.